So now that we've introduced 3D models into the mix, let's take a look at hotspots that work in 3D models. I'm going to open up our Helix bridge here and, ooh, no starting waypoint found. Well, we have waypoints defined, so let's make one. Our starting waypoint. First of all, I'm going to open up waypoints. And we have this one, remember? And this one, and this one. I like this little viewpoint one because it kind of gives us a glimpse of the whole bridge from this one location. So what I'll do is I'm going to go here, set, start waypoint, yes. And now if I refresh the page, our starting view is here. Easy enough? Great. Okay, so let's take a look at how easy it is to add a hotspot. I'm going to move up here using my arrow keys. I'm going to navigate around so I can look at this viewpoint here. And this will work out well. So I'm going to add a 3D hotspot. And I'm going to plop it. First of all, what you'll notice right off the bat is that we have this kind of new cursor with an arrow pointing out of it. And so now that we're in 3D land, we have to worry about X, Y, and Z or Z axes. And so this is going to show us what direction the hotspot is going to be pointing at. And so you can attach it to anything, and that arrow will show you exactly where it's going to be pointing. You'll see because we actually have a 3D mesh, just like me, this cursor knows what's up. Oh, dad jokes. Okay, I'm thinking we'll probably have almost like a sign. We'll put it right here. Okay, so it creates this thing, and right now it kind of looks like half a ball sunk into the concrete. And that is because by default, if we go to appearance here, it creates a hotspot circle on a little line, and that line is 0.1 of a meter high. Okay, and since this bridge is, actually a big model, that 0.1 isn't enough. So we would make it, I don't know, let's do 1.5 meters, right? Some typical sign height for people. So this is the distance from the ground for the top of the hotspot here. We can opt to show that marker line or not. That's just there as kind of a nice way to anchor things. We also can change the color of the line. We can also adjust the size of the hotspot. So right now the hotspot is in pixels, which means that if I back up, you'll see we're at 80 pixels wide here. It does not change size. It stays at 80 pixels. And so in some circumstances, that's great. That's what you want. In other circumstances, if you're going for some realism, that is not what you want, because obviously as things are farther away, they appear to be smaller to us. So what we could do is we can adjust the size. Now it's 80 meters, a little too big, but we can make that a nice, I don't know, we'll do 0.7. And so now as we go away from it, it behaves like an actual real world object. And you can see that it actually gets occluded by the 3D model as well. It looks like it's behind it, and it sizes properly, right? So this is about as realistic as we can get. Now, what we can do is we can also change new position. So if we don't like this position, we can say, okay, well, actually, you know what? I'm going to stick it over here. And it's as easy as that to pick a new position for it. You can also adjust the center point. So right now, if I move this around, you can see that I am adjusting the center point of it. For this example, because it's just the default circle here, I'm going to leave it right in the center. This will be coming more in handy in the near future. Okay, so we've got our distance, our size, always face viewer, which is what we want for this one. So let's say I put an icon in here. And that icon is going to be, I don't know, like this little waypoint icon here. Always face viewer, no matter what I'm looking at here, or however I'm looking at it, it's always facing me, okay? Again, in this situation, this works really well. In other situations, you may want to turn this off, in which case it actually aligns with whatever surface you put it to. So because this was aligned with the floor, it's aligned with the floor. So you can do kind of cool things like this. You'll notice that if we put it right at the floor, you get this kind of collision between it. So what we can do is just put it up just a smidge, just so it's, there we go, on top of the floor. And then you could make it a little bit bigger. And then it looks like it's a piece of the floor, right? And then you can do things like, oops, not that rotating. There we go. You could rotate it around and have things that actually look like they're stuck to other things, which we will also go over in the next video. But for now, always face viewer is what I want. I want it up a little bit like this, and I don't want it that big. There we go. So now we have our hotspot. And for just this example, I'm going to say, here's some good information. And we'll make that the waypoint hotspot. We'll save it. And we will save the snap. And now we have a hotspot, which is totally interactive, attached to our 3D model. Okay, so that's how easy it is to do the basics of a 3D hotspot in SeekBeak.